Hi everyone, Nishka here from EurekaCrystalBeads.com with another product spotlight video for you. But before we get started, go ahead and check out the rest of our channel. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment. Today I am so excited to show off our brand new mixes. So just for anyone who's been taking a look at our website and just loves mixes for all your jewelry making needs, you might have noticed that some of our mixes have been out of stock for a while and we haven't been adding new colors. And the reason for that is that we've been completely retooling the way that we want to do mixes. So as you see now, we're using these bigger tubes and our mixes are going to be more limited edition. So we'll make a bunch of them, sell them out, and then make totally new ones so that you can constantly have fresh new colors to play with. So I just want to show them all up close so that you can take a look at what's inside and see if it's something that you want to play around with. And I also have a few samples that I made of some jewelry that I think would be really fun. I think these are a great jumping off point, very inspirational, and I just am in love with all of these colors. And you get so much out of a tube like this that it's really a great deal to grab these. And you'll notice some of these tubes have less beads in them because I've already started making things because I could not wait. So let's get started. Okay, so I've poured most of them out and I think it's easier to see them this way. So let me just get this last one out on the little triangle tray so we can take a look. Oh, this just screams ocean. All right, so, well, let's just start with this one then. So this one is called Ocean Waves. It is a gorgeous mix of soft, grays, pearlescent, finished, luster type colors that kind of gives you this sort of pearl idea. And then you have a deeper but still quite pastel turquoise color and this sort of opalescent, kind of a Pacific opaly color mixed together. And there is a color in here. I just want to make sure that you can see it well because there is one color in here that has an actually very special finish on it. This sort of two-tone silver, but kind of matte silver and gray on one side and a very soft white on the other side. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but I really, really love this color in particular. It has a very natural and organic look to it that is just stunning. Let's see if I can pick it up and just show a very specific bead color that I am just in love with. And these are slightly larger. These are size 8 seed beads in this mix. Right? Isn't that great? God, just love it. So this is a fantastic project if you're looking for a really beautiful palette of oceany, soft colors for anything where you would need a size 8 seed bead. So that's Ocean Waves. This next one is probably one of my favorites. This one is called Aphrodite, and you can see why. These just beautiful, vibrant pinks. And we have some soft gold and a little bit of yellow in here. It's just a really nice color palette. This one features some bugles. And my absolute favorite, though, is this stunning hex cut bead. So this is a square shape that's twisted. So this is a fantastic mix if you're looking to add a lot of texture and pops of sparkle. as well as some very unique choices. So you can use this one if you're really interested in doing something a little more unusual. Plus, the color palette is just so soft and beautiful and romantic. It's like a love potion. So, Aphrodite, of course, the goddess of love. So, this one is definitely a keeper. Okay, what we have next is this mix called Enchanted Valley. Now, this one just screams spring, right? We have even softer, very salmon colored pinks in here. We have a half tila, so that's a fantastic addition if you are trying to just add a little detail here and there rather than using a full tila bead. You can use half tilas. And we have a bunch of 11 O's in here, and 8 O's in the larger sort of pink. And there's a really pretty selection of greens in here. One is a soft spring green, but the other one, and that's what gives this unique mix some organic look, is that it is actually a Picasso color. So it might be a little bit hard to tell here, but you see a lot of additional color markings on some of these green beads. They're not dirty. They might look a little bit darker here, but what you are seeing is the Picasso finish on these beads that gives it that like organic, natural look, like grass or leaves or something that's been down in the dirt, which I absolutely love. And it's a great palette for spring, for Easter, anytime really. The next one that I'm going to show is this palette, which is just so dreamy. I really like this one. There's something so lovely about this that I cannot get enough of it. I think it is the fact that these are very pastel colors and they are also matte. So it has this sort of, I don't know, I want to say cotton candy feel almost. And that's just really does it for me. So there's bugles in here, and you also have just one seed bead that is luster coated, like a candy shell, and the rest of them are all pastel matte colors. So this palette is inspired by Rococo style, and so these are these delicious pastel colors that you see in a lot of architecture in Europe that uses this palette of colors in that particular period, which is just dreamy and lovely, and especially with this slightly deeper, almost periwinkle color. It's just so much that you can do with this one, and especially the gradations from the lightest to the darkest are stunning. And I'll show you something I made in a minute using this palette, and it's just to die for. So that's Rococo. Okay, so next we have this very unusual palette. This one was really like inspired by colorized silent film posters. So these are some of the colors that you could pull out of posters of Rudolph Valentino and some of the early stars of the silent screen. And this is a palette that has a very retro, almost classic vibe, but with pops of modern flair. You have these deeper reds, an emerald green, and then some pastel greens, plus very unusual violet color in here. So this one we're calling Valentino in honor of Rudolph Valentino because this palette was really inspired by some of his early movie posters. And we just love how unusual it is and how unique these color selection is, but somehow it draws you in, right? So there's nothing that you can compare it to. We also have some Picasso beads in here as well that you can see on this lighter green. There's delicas in here, which are going to be also really nice to use if you are trying to do perhaps a brick stitch section of an earring, and then you want to add on other beads. Say if you're beading around a shape, you want to grow that out, right? So you're going to use slightly larger beads as you go. And there's also larger cubes in this one than in the Aphrodite mix, which are going to be a lot of fun to use among other beads in your design. And you can also see that there's half tilas in this one as well. So it's got texture, it's romantic, and very unusual. So this one, Valentino, I'd be very excited to see what people come up with this color palette. Next, we have Sunset. This is just, I mean, it needs no explanation. These colors just pop right out at you as the brightest colors you can imagine in the sky right at sunset. So this hot pink bugle that's silver lined, so it's got this extra sparkle going on from within the bead itself. And then the rest of these beads are delicas, 11O delicas, and you can see that they are all matte. So you are basically going to be able to center this bugle among all of these beads, and it will be the star of the show. And then you have a gorgeous mix. It's really the beginning of the rainbow, right? Like Roy G. Biv, like this is the Roy part. It's just a beautiful way to get started on a project. These will be great for earrings because of the shape of the delicas. You can do really nice tight brick stitch to start your design, and then fringes. With the bugles in here, your fringes will go faster, and you can do some really awesome designs with this one. So I'm very, very proud of this selection. I think it will be perfect for anybody who is obsessed with fringe earrings right now. And these colors just scream summer, right? So that's Sunset. Now we're going to move on to something a little more muted. This selection is called Amber, and we've pulled out every possible color that natural amber comes in. So you have these creamy colors that you sometimes see mixed in with the amber, going all the way to these topazy tones. This is a very muted palette. This is very beautiful, and I don't know, just looking at this, I just think of a caramel apple. Like I just want to eat it. The multiple kinds of texture. So you have this opaque matte. You have this really pretty luster finish, and then some of these that are transparent. So they almost get lost in the shuffle, but add a depth of color and texture. And because of the multiple sizes in this mix, you will be able to do lots of different projects with a color palette that matches each other. So this one is really nice as well. Probably the most versatile of all of the palettes that we're showing today. And yeah, I think this one's a real winner. I know that we said they would all be limited edition, but I don't know. This one might be someone we keep around. We'll see. Or variations of it, because this really is like a warm brown yellow tone that basically goes with everything. And these are beige beads and these creamy whites that you can use in every project. So that is Amber. And finally, probably the most interesting and also the most current of the palettes, the color mixes in this palette is April Showers. So as you know, for 2021, Pantone chose two colors of the year, and those two are medium gray and this very bright, uplifting yellow. So here we've basically used those colors and added a few long bugles in black to give you that same early spring feel. So to me, I'm just looking at this and thinking like cloudy skies, rain coming down, but you've got this yellow raincoat or a yellow umbrella. And it's just so unique that this is just a lovely, lovely palette. And not only the colors, but the particular selection of beads in it. So these are all 8-ohs. So again, you have a nice selection of colors all in one size, except for the bugles, of course. I think these are number 5 bugles, so they're longer than the 6mm length bugles. And what you see in here that I just am like dying, it's so beautiful. Especially love this frosted silver lined yellow bead that you can see here. It is just glowing from within. And that adds so much texture because then we have this opaque yellow, which is really beautiful next to that glowing one. And then 3 kinds of gray. So we have a matte gray, we have a lustrous gray, and then we have this very neutral, central sort of crystal clear with a light gray color on it. And I think all of it together makes this the most amazing palette, especially for now. Like this is current trends palette. If you want to make any jewelry designs, what have you, and use colors that you don't normally use for anything else, but are on trend for now, this is the mix that you want to grab. Grab as many of them as you can, make a bunch of earrings, and then never buy those colors again. Unless you love them like I do, in which case you will definitely want to get these because especially that glowing yellow is just mind-boggling to me. It's so pretty. So there are a few things that I put together that while I was playing around with these and thinking about how to use them that I wanted to just show you now. We have these pretty new crescent moon shaped findings. And this, as you can see, is using that gorgeous trendy palette. And I call this design April moon because it's April showers, but it's a moon, right? Very creative. But I'm just loving how this looks with the bugles. I mean, sometimes I get a little bit, I find that a fringe can be tedious sometimes. So that's why I just love including bugles because it goes so much faster. And with these slightly larger beads, you can get this brick stitch done quickly, pop on some fringes, get your ear wire on there, and this takes like very little time. And you have this gorgeous, gorgeous, unusual earring in a very, very trendy color design. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see this tutorial. I can definitely put something together. I know that it's just a very basic brick stitch and fringe thing, so I think many people will just be able to figure it out on their own. But if you really want it, let me know because I can definitely do that for you guys. So that's one. Let me put that here. That I just like love so much. And then this is another thing I was working on with this Rococo color palette. And I just took the beads and instead of doing well, let me backtrack. I did a mix when I created the top portion of this. This is prismatic right angle weave. And I created a little tube. I thought I was going to do a bead, but then I thought, you know what, let's try some fringe. So I created fringes coming off of it. And here I separated the colors out so we could do this gradation, which is just so dreamy, just lovely. And of course the bugles also help with length to get it going a little bit longer and a little bit nicer. And I haven't decided what I want to do with this yet. Is this going to be another earring? Got my little like leftover tails here, or a pendant. Not really sure. I'm thinking earring. I'm going to have to close this top or somehow find a way to make it like a post inside instead of a fish hook. That's what I've been working on with these. beads and these palettes, and I'm sure that all of you can come up with some absolutely stunning projects using these as well. I really want to see what people come up with these particular beads here in Aphrodite and also Valentino. I think that, you know, those are the most interesting ones to me, aside from the two that I've already played with. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to sit with us and enjoy and take a look at all of our beautiful new mixes. Like I said before, these will be available only until they sell out. So make sure you grab them, and we will be doing constant new releases, new colors, new palettes. So let us know what you want, because we are here to make what you want. So if you want to see more bugle mixes in with the beads, if you want to see tilas, half tilas, quarter tilas, you want mixes that are all one size bead or one shape, just let us know. And that's what we'll do. We are going to be constantly on trend, trying to find the newest, nicest, prettiest beads to mix together so that you always have something to inspire you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and make sure you check out EurekaCrystalBeads.com for these color mixes, as well as tons of other stuff that we're always adding. These pretty new findings to make your pretty earrings. And yeah, thanks so much. Bye.